Come one, come all to the Titanium Court. Today we're going to be playing a bit of a indie game demo. Might have to turn up a little bit for you guys. A man steps onto stage and taps a microphone. Good evening! Before we begin, there are a few announcements. First, due to the unexpected circumstances, the part of the player will be performed by an understudy. A couple of audible groans and one muffled boo erupts from the audience. Now, there's no need for that. This kid may not be a star yet, but I've seen her rehearse, and I can guarantee that she'll impress you. She may not have had the time to memorize any of her lines, but, well, neither have any of you. The audience laughs. Second, we'd like to warn you that this production features a significant amount of obscenity. But before all the parents in the audience begin covering their children's ears, know this. This stage is enchanted such that such that the obscenities can only be heard by those of sufficient emotional maturity to handle hearing them. And finally, the writer's room would like to issue an apology for failing to complete the script before this performance. They are working on it as we speak, so it is my pleasure to announce that tonight's performance is also a race. Hi, hon. Hope you're doing well. Who will win? The writers furiously working to finish the script, or the performers attempting to perform it? I can't answer that question, but I can announce that the race begins now. Oh, we hope you enjoy the game. Where should you start? You were walking through the woods when the world around you shattered. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear, Carrie. This was both alarming and inconvenient. Isolated on a lone stretch of ground, you were transfixed as the broken landscape began to rearrange itself. Your eyes followed trees and hills collapsing in lines of three, as if the forest you knew were a knot becoming carefully untangled. You dared not move from your position, as the ground beneath your feet quivered in anticipation of shattering further. Oh, can I do one at a time? Sure. You passed the time this way for who knows how long. Until the court slid into view. At first, you weren't sure you could trust your eyes. But there it was, a great shining structure among the rolling landscape, something stable and enclosed, a shelter. You kept your eyes on it, hoping it would draw close enough that you might peer inside its windows. Alright, so we gotta get this a bit closer. Surprisingly, the court appeared able to move freely through the broken landscape, disregarding lines of three as it approached your position. Yeah, but I mean, I'd also like to get a line of three. And just as it came near, the shattered landscape lurched. With little warning, the forest snapped back together as if someone had pulled the knot of reality tight once again. Except, by now it wasn't the forest you knew. It was hardly even a forest. You stood, stretched, and began the hike towards the court. This game's a bit interesting. There's a little sillichrome of music going on. Later, while the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. Hoping to avoid any attention, you sought out a more isolated part of the hall. An empty table near an exit where no one would pay you much mind. A sound plan. Except... Oh no! Let me see. I want to see if I can turn off a bit. There we go. It's still very quiet. Like, Reg is just very background noisy, but, you know. I like to make sure you guys can hear a little something. The hall was soon overflowing with people, and your table was no exception. The young man seated to your right began engaging you in idle conversation. The weather! How you found the... Oh, sorry. I'm not doing his voice yet. Sorry. The weather, how you found the meal, the role of the individual in a society, how you preferred to make your bed, those sort of subjects. Eventually, he inquired about how you came to arrive at the court. Which answers my question quite thoroughly, while raising many more, he says as you conclude your tale. But forgive me, you haven't actually finished your story, have you? You admit there is a bit more, though you have yet to make sense of it. People within the court were earnest but odd. After your arrival, you attempted to get some answers about your whereabouts and the strange circumstances outside it, except they spoke mostly in riddles and nonsense, didn't they? They did. Find out where you are. A man resting at the shade of the wall. Said the man, Whoa, pal, whoa. Before you ask me any more questions, you gotta know my deal. My deal is that I can only answer questions you haven't asked. So, as to where we are, no can do. Sorry, can't tell you. What are we doing? Oh man, we're a court of fairies on a quest to find our missing queen. He looked to both sides, then said, So let me know if you see her. Just don't ask me where she is. Next, you... Now hold on, are you seriously telling me about every individual conversation you had in excruciating detail? Yeah, let's go through. Yes, you are, because if he lets you proceed uninterrupted, you'll learn that many of these people played a part in what happened next. Fine, fine. A woman in a helmet doing her taxes at a picnic table. Said the woman, I would love to tell you where we are, friend, but I haven't even figured out where we aren't. She gestured at a stack of maps on the table behind her. We're not any of those places. Or at least we weren't. Who knows if that's true now that the tide has come in? You attempted another tactic, hoping to glean some information. Perhaps you could at least tell you the name of this place? Oh, we just call it the court. Its full name is the court of... I forgot. Something like a court of aluminium, but it starts with a T? The court of tungsten? I don't know. Maybe. I'm new here, and I'm bad with names. But at least I can give you mine. I'm Robin. She held out her hand, which you shook as you introduced yourself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should get to sort this out before the tide settles again. A pair in front of a blackboard discussing magic. There appeared to be a seminar of some sort taking place in the courtyard. Seminar of magic, if you understood the text on the blackboard correctly. Okay, so you take a metaphor and then you stretch it really thin, right? Right. Like really thin. So thin you forgot its original purpose. Then you inflate it. Right, just inflate the metaphor. I prefer to use my lungs for that. Then as it's inflating, you twist it like, hang on, like so. You still following? I think so. And hold on. Ta-da! There. It now resembles a dog. A delight for children and such. Ah, okay. So what happened to the metaphor? It's a lovely little balloon dog now. I see. They seemed a bit busy, so you left them to it. A small cat! Bathing in the sun atop the walls. Yes, cat. Said the small cat. Ah, your questions are numerous, but inconsequential, for they miss the current crisis. What crisis? Why, the crisis wherein my dinner is late! It is so late, in fact, that I'm not certain the concept of dinner isn't something I invented in a fugue of hunger. All of the societal issues are mere trivialities in comparison to my plight. Please, stranger, why don't you fill my bowl, thus ending this ravenous standoff? Woman behind you laughed. I've never listened to him. He's been fed twice today already. All right. What did the outside of the court look like from atop the walls? Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved to the top of the walls and looked outward. Perhaps there were something that you could see from this vantage that would shed more light on your situation. To the contrary, conditions outside the walls were even stranger than they were at the time of your arrival. The rest of the shattered landscape had now melted away. The court stood alone amid a void. But not for long. Like a rush of water, new surroundings began to surround. Much of the new topography was familiar to you. You could identify fields, water, woods, and hills. But there was something else to see. A menacing group of other courts were also part of the landscape. You were not alone noticing these towers. Someone shouted, "The war! The war! The war is here!" Someone else, "That can't be! Puck said no wars until we find the queen." "Then perhaps he should explain that to them." Surrounded by the enemy, on all sides and bereft of an obvious course to action, the people of the court began to pray. A man stepped forward and offered the first prayer. "I genuinely wish no harm upon our enemy. I merely pray that they would fade into obscurity." Aha. "Wow, thanks. I didn't expect that to work, but thanks." The woman named Robin offered the next prayer. "My notes are quite clear on this. Prayer does not work. Our time is much better spent steering the court. Remember, the soldiers cannot cross water. We should try to take shelter behind a moat until the tide comes in." "There, that the river protects us from nearly half the field. Hills should also slowly advance, so for my next prayer..." But the next prayer did not belong to Robin. The next prayer belonged to the cat. "So long as we are making demands of make the wish, my wish is ever to be fed." Psst, hey. You probably didn't notice, but something just happened over here. What happened is by matching fields, the court has acquired some food. Similarly, other parts of the battlefield can be matched to earn water, trees, or gold. None of those fairies in the court will tell you this. Their religion forbids them from acknowledging the existence of the user interface. But I am a secular tooltip. I fear no god. I will do my best to provide you with this vital information. You're welcome. Yes, more of that, please. Robin then bemoaned the loss of the moat. "We face even more of the enemy than before. Why must I bother?" The scholars in the background now chimed in. We've identified the most strategically sound location. This spot right here. If we should steer over there carefully, we should be fine. Sitting pretty." But Robin interjected, "Stop! Look at the clock. It's almost low tide. We have time left for only one more move." Again. So the clock and the time left Robin alludes to is in fact this unassuming progress bar at the edge of your vision. Much like life, every move you make will deplete some of your remaining time. The one pair left, what do you suggest we ask for? We might as well pray for a miracle. Well, that's a start. Apologies, but another explanation from me. Your humble tooltip is in order. The previous move chained multiple matches together. Because of this, you have earned some bonus time. So the fairies of the court, this might as well be a miracle. Is there anywhere else we could do that again, whatever it was? If there were no such chance. The next pair would be the last. Incidentally, the next pair also belonged to you. Unsure of what any of this really meant, you imitated the people around you and made a pointless decision. What would I like to do? The battlefield snapped together as the court snapped to attention. Places, everyone! Windows were shuttered. Doors were slammed. Large swaths of people emerged from further inside and formed a line near the gates. A tap on your shoulder. One of the scholars. We could use some help in the dressing room if you have a free hand. Along with the scholars, introduced to you as Hop and Skip, you sorted through a large pile of costumes, props, and weapons. Check the tag on that, would you? Make sure I put it together properly. Hold. Farmer, working fairy, gathers food from fields. If it looks correct, feel free to hand it out. You handed the bundle of farmer's apparel to the first person in line. Unperturbed by the idea of harvesting wheat in the middle of a battle, they whistled as they marched out the front gate. Now do it to play another farmer. Ugh. Now let's see if this one fits anybody. Soldier offensive attacks the enemy. You handed a bunch of armor and weapons to the next person in line. She tests the weight of the weapon in her hand. I haven't received any training, so I'm just planning to hit anything that doesn't belong to us. After this minimal preparation, the scholars considered their work finished. I'd place our chances of survival somewhere near abysmal, but I'm afraid this is the best we can do. A small mercy, at least, that the Queen isn't here to witness this. And so you waited with all the others for the battle to commence. Hello, I must pass you one more time before I take my leave. Observe! This is the undo button. Use it to change your mind as many times as you wish before starting the battle. However, the official editorial position of this tooltip is that you are liable to lose no matter how many times you change your mind presently. When you're ready to lose, use the play button to proceed to the next battle. Now, I will leave you in peace. But, should you ever desire the company of your loyal tooltip, all you need to do is click and hold over any button or tile, and I will do my best to explain it to you. Ah, press this button when you're prepared to die, of course. Undo button. Voted most valuable button 22 years running. Oh, very nice. Monarch. Offensive job. Turn property damage into profit. Okay. Commence battle? Sure. So I have played a bit of this before. Or no, I haven't played, I should say. I've watched someone play it. And quite frankly, it does look really fun. Ooh, we knocked that sucker out of the park. But in the end, we died. Okay. And then, sometime later, as the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. The man to your right is beside himself with laughter. Okay, so our court, caught off guard by a sudden war, stumbled behind enemy lines, made a token attempt at resistance, and then was summarily toppled. Do I have that right? Yes, that does appear to be an accurate summary. Well then, I'm certainly glad I slept through that. As you look at your surroundings, a switch flips in your mind. Your own story makes a little sense now that you think of it. How did you... Your companion pats your arm. Don't worry about it. If our court couldn't withstand physical destruction, we wouldn't last 5 minutes within the pull of the tide. But enough of that. It's about time I made some introductions. As you've narrowly avoided learning, this place is called the Titanium Court. Meanwhile, I have the honor of being a steward of the court. My name is Puck, although my lovers and enemies called me Goodfellow. I am chief advisor and friend eternal to our fair queen. As fancy as that sounds, in practice it means he's unemployed. One of the scholars, a man named Hop, has approached your table. He appears to have had a drink or two, or 4. He pulls up a seat between the two of you and assumes a jovial position. Guess the queen stood us up, eh? Good fellow, lucky for her, I'd say. I'd skip town too if I knew what a sorry showing the court would make. But on the plus side, we can continue draining her wine cellar. Now, are you going to help me with that, good fellow, or are you just going to stare at me? I don't mind either way. Puck, staring at the scholar, mouth agape, slowly inhales and pinches his nose. What fools these! How drunk are you, Hop? The queen is right here! I've been speaking to her for the entire feast! An excited hush falls over the entire hall. Hop blinks, looks at you, looks at Puck, turns bright red. Oh, I see it now. That calls for Her Majesty's finest vintage. I'll be right back. As Hop makes a quick exit, you look steadily at Puck and shake your head. There's no use denying it now, not after the tale you just told me. If you'd like more proof, just take a look at where you're seated. You slowly take in your surroundings. At the head of the table. Puck smiles. Now, if I may conclude my introductions, let me introduce the court to your majesty and likewise. He stands up and addresses the entire hall as he says, Long absent, the Queen of Titanium Court, always a stranger, has arrived. Cheers erupt, and dessert is served. Oh! To your left, Hop returned with an armful of glasses and bottles, and about time, too. Good fellow, did you tell her about the war yet? Titanium Court! Chapter 1. Place beloved only of clowns and criminals. And then, just a short while after the feast, the court returns to war. Here we are. You're in charge, you're in charge of the war now, Your Majesty. You should be just fine. You just remember everything we've taught you about magical warfare. Blinking slowly, you remind them that, at this exact moment, that they have taught you roughly nothing about magical warfare. Ah, good. She remembers quite clearly. Alright. High tide, while the field is broken, use it to your advantage. Consult the ever-changing map. You don't know what any of this means. Good to know. Inspect your available units. We have farmers, and we have soldiers. Alright, good to know. Glad that we're on a good foot here. A stump. Aha! I'd like to get by this stump, please. Ooh, I'm kind of sick with it. Dude, I mean, I'm going infinite on this one. Kind of going sicko mode, to be honest. All right. All right, well, I guess we'll, here we go. Commence battle? Sure. We have no enemies, so that's a plus. This sounds very jammin', I like it. Seems very weird. I love it. Well, having now achieved some kind of victory in the war, you wonder if someone in the court might help you return home. It would be our pleasure if you could show us the way. Also, that was only one battle. There are many more to come if my notes are to be trusted. Okay, well, if you understand this map correctly, even if it is a map, there appears to be some sort of signage just ahead. Perhaps if you can reach those signs, you'll learn more about where you actually are, along with how to get home. And to reach them, we need merely to be swept forward by the tide as we have all been all along. Convenient. It's nice, I guess. All right, here we go. Safe. A storage unit looks like one you've rented in the past. Well, I would like to see that storage unit. Very nice. Could do this. This probably wouldn't give me anything. This might be my best bet. Take a look inside the storage unit. We were quite curious about what you might find inside the storage unit, but it's locked. All right, very nice. It doesn't look like anyone can really reach me for a while. Very slow to travel on foot, yeah. Sure. We'll just send some dudes to farm mostly. Oh, slam dunk. Yeah, I'm not worried about that guy coming over. But look at our food over here. We've got 40 food. Time. All right. Let's see. A planet possessing a friendly false face. Okay, very nice. All right, what we got there? We're pretty much safe from these guys. Pretty much, because not quite, but... Oh, okay, so we can't interact with that. So we're gonna actually want a good few soldiers here. Fuck, give me a fourth one. We got plenty of food. I'm not worried. It's a very goofy game. Look at that. Time. A menacing bird cage suddenly appears in front of the court. Your Majesty, I have notes on this foe. Let me know if you'd like to see them. Yeah, tell me about the birdcage. Right, here's what my notes say. First, at the start of low tide, the birdcage will flood its surrounding with water. Following that, the birdcage will attack the court with birds. Fine, it may prove tricky. It is always surrounded by water. The court soldiers will be unable to reach it. You agree? Wonder if there's another approach the court could take. Either way, you thank Robin for the information. Wait, aren't some of those enemy courts empty? Notice a subtle difference between some of the enemy courts on the battlefield. While the enemy courts have soldiers, primarily outside the gates, there's also plenty of them that appear to be completely empty. You think that you can maybe assume that these empty courts will not attack the court during the coming battle. Yes, you can assume that. Additionally, you can see when enemy soldiers will attack the court over here on the timeline. Even soldiers might be no threat to you if you can deal with their courts before they attack. Indeed. So, I mean, I guess we could try getting to the bird cage. That seems a bit tough, though. Ooh. That felt good. I can't do that. Your Majesty, look! There is a chest resting on that patch of land. We should be able to recover its contents as long as it remains in sight for low tide. Alright, so we want to keep that, and we don't want to break it. I can attempt that. Okay, well, one has replaced it. That's good. Ooh. As low tide begins, the birdcage surrounds itself with a moat. Alright, we have actually killed a good few enemy units. Gather all manner of trinkets, treasures, trifles, and toys. Ah, a gunboat and a bird. I'll get it, and I will get it. Excellent. I'm not really worried about a gunboat. Let's get a third bird. Wait, let's look at this. Offensive winged fairy, unhindered by terrain. I would prefer if you guys were to maybe head back, because they're kind of beating our ass. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate. I thought they were going to go and target the birds. Oh, with time and reputation comes comfort. You feel your maximum level of comfort increase to 1. Okay. On the next morning, you awake in a strange bed. The bed is strange, not just because it is not your usual bed, but because it is also not the bed you fell asleep in. Puck told you any room with the quote might be the queen's, so you partied with him at the first room you found that wasn't already occupied. Small chamber beneath the staircase, a twin-sized bed neighbored by a nightstand and lamp. Small desk in the corner. No windows. Meanwhile, the bed you awake in is queen-sized and contained within a spacious chamber that opens into a balcony. Balcony overlooks the courtyard of your new home. You appear to be roughly 5 stories above the ground. All right. What's this? Take stock of your possessions. You look over the scant possessions that were on your person when you arrived at the court. Everything appears to be where you left it, with one irritating exception. Sometime between your arrival and now, you've managed to misplace your keys. In a way, you suppose that you all managed to misplace the locks those keys are intended for. A mystery, admittedly, of much greater concern to you than the missing keys. Alright, let's go explore the court. Return to your office. Investigate the dining hall. Wait! There was a man named Puck. Oh, let's talk to Puck. What's Puck up to? The man named Puck is just across the courtyard. Perfect. You have many things you wish to ask him. Oh, he quickly exits the scene. Maybe imagine it, but he appeared to retreat the moment he saw your approach. Bit rude. Alright, what should we do in our office? Go to war? Look out the window? Sure. There are some dogs catching frisbees in the courtyard, just out of frame. Yo! What good boys and or girls. Neat! Alright, let's not go to war yet. Let's investigate the dining hall. What should we do? Grab some breakfast? Sure. In the light of day, the feasting hall more closely resembles a common dining area. You collect some breakfast from buffet, then seek a table. You would prefer to sit somewhere out of the way, near an exit, ideally hidden. You sit in the most nondescript location you can find, corner near a trash bin. Before you finished a bite, a whole host of fairy courtiers arrive with their meals and sit with you. They make idle conversation and a few honest attempts at answering your myriad of questions, but none of them successful. As you complete your meal, you idly note that your table is now the most lively and boisterous table within the hall. You also note, idly, that despite his assurances that he would answer all your questions, the man named Puck remains nowhere to be seen. As a result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. You get 10 bread. Very nice. Alright, I think it's time to go to war. After breakfast, the court goes to war. And, as you ready yourself, a question. Your Majesty, is the intensity of the war to your liking? If not, please feel free to adjust the thermostat. Thermostat? Maybe make things a little easier on yourself. I mean, not particularly. A small mirror that follows you from battle to battle. I don't know what that means. Despite falling short of them yesterday, you're confident you can reach those signs today. Very good. Her Majesty's loyalty to this approach is quite admirable. How steadfast. All right. Okay. Let's see what we can get. Looks like there's no enemies, so it's a bit of a build-up kind of day. I would like this near us. Oh, there's the chest. I didn't see it. I'd prefer not to break that. Oh, dum-dum. Alright, well, there's a chest. Collection of goods. An archer knight, defensive fairies, guard your court with arrows. That's a solid get. Alright. Let's see, we could definitely use... Oh, sorry, undo, I just wanted to look at you. Sure, good enough. I love this music. It's so beach themed, I guess I would say. You know what I mean? Like I would imagine hearing this in a beach episode of Saved by the Bell. I think it's a pretty good day. Come on, yeah. We got some serious gold from that. Ooh, shops. Could definitely use some more water. I'm confused what this does. It didn't seem to do anything. A tap on your shoulder. Robin points to a building in the distance. Your Your Majesty, that shop is neutral to this conflict. We should strongly consider stocking up on supplies. Of course, that is only if it stays in view. If it disappears before low tide, we'll have to wait until we pass another one. And by me. Ah, that's a shame. A shop. You call into the shop and learn about what they have for sale. However, before you can proceed, a voice on the line stops you and asks if you understand how money works. Let's just say no. Let's get the whole thing. You thought you understood a lot of things before your world shattered, and now you might as well understand nothing. Hey, whoa, I don't need your life story, ma'am. I just gotta make sure you know where the money comes from. Let me explain. First thing you gotta know is where money doesn't come from. You probably get used to getting stuff like food, water, trees, and gold randomly during high tide, right? Well, that's not gonna work for money. Instead, you get money by doing your job. You do have a job, right? You don't think you have a job. Oh, come on, I have caller ID, you know. I know you're a fancy fairy queen of a fancy fairy court fighting a fancy fairy war. That's totally a job. Have some confidence. So anyway, fairy queens usually earn money by defeating their enemy on the battlefield. Just knock down one of those towers and money will pop out. Oh yeah, you can also get some money by selling stuff, maybe to us, but doing your job is a surefire method. Whew. Now that I've given you the talk, how about I tell you what we have for sale? Alright, gunboat, driller, gathers rocks, seems very nice. Archer, centaur, and trade wood at market prices. I don't think I'm going to be doing any of that. I guess a gunboat could be nice because we don't have anything like that. I guess I'll buy him. Not like we really need it right now, but you know, it's good to have. Alright, so just those two. I'm not really worried about that then. I mean, this looks pretty good to me. Yeah, screw it. Try to get a shit ton of resources. We'll break that guy before we get a chance to put out soldiers. I don't remember where the other soldiers came from. But this will be a good way to get some money. Oh, we're not gonna break that one in time. Well, we could have done without one more, but I think this is fine. Ooh, what's this? Is that a billboard in the middle of the battlefield? It's true. There appears to be a billboard of some sort among the scattered elements of the terrain. You better go to the outer walls of the court to get a better look. You need law, says Robin. That thing gives me the creeps, Your Majesty, as if we're about to be sued just by looking at it. You agree it might be best to look away lest you draw some unwanted legal attention. I don't think that really means anything. I think it's just... Okay, yeah, sure. Another structure wades into view in the distance. You suppose this is another... Look, Your Majesty, a temple of market. Should you wish to pay your respects, it need only stay in view until low tide, correct? Correct, your brilliance continues to blind. Excellent. Sorry, so we got some money back. Could use a little water. What else do we need? Do we have any other moves we can go? Oh, wait. Market prohibits trading during high tides, but here are our prices nonetheless. Okay. Do I? Oh, I could do this. Oh, no, my market. Well, that's not good. Well, that is quite unfortunate, to be honest. Oh, yes! Everything's coming up Millhouse. Holy. Oh, no! Ah, shit. Well. Looks like we're not getting that. Sure. Oh, I didn't think you'd shoot over that. Damn! Alright, well that was a shame. We couldn't get to see the Temple of Market. Ooh, we're a little short on gold. And now, the court finds itself surrounded by catapults. To be perfectly precise, those appear to be trebuchets. No, those look like catapults. Given that trebuchets are a subcategory of catapult, you don't see any reason why you can't call them catapults. Very well, my queen. I retreat in the face of your overflowing wisdom. Okay. Well. Strange building comes into view. As you observe it, the phone in your office rings. Bring, bring. Yeah, hey, Titanium Core, Your Majesty, I'm calling from the Glass House. Yeah, we sell potions. As our name suggests, we firmly oppose the act of throwing stones in any and all forms. Therefore, we'd like to offer full support to Titanium Core in your campaign against these stone-throwing trebuchets. Here's a pro tip, free of charge. Hills will block your projectiles fired by catapults. Just surround the core with hills and you'll be safe. And if that doesn't work, we sell a variety of instant use potions that can help you deal with the threat. Just give us a call sometime, we'll be happy to help. Click. Who was it, Your Majesty? You explained that it was a telemarketer, albeit one whose pitch might prove useful. Wow, rare. You could say that again. Very nice. Want to set something on fire? I do enjoy doing that. Make bouncing out of molehills and other terrain. Ensure a flood wherever it lands. Specifically, a potion of teleport is the safest way to travel. Well, that's nice. Hmm. Let's see. I think I've lost my mojo a little bit. I was kind of going sicko mode earlier. There's not a ton for me to go sicko mode on. Is there a match I'm not seeing? I'm looking. I guess worst case scenario, we could duck and cover. Oh, I was hoping the double would help. Alright. You know, I do like setting things on fire. Where should we put it? Right here would be good. Very nice, very nice. What else do we have? I can buy another fire potion. You know what? Let's try this. We have plenty of resources. Where are you heading? Let's try right here. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, that seems good to me. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think we need a ton. Ooh, now the fire is spread. So the only one I was worried about was this one, but I didn't think he could kill us. Uh-oh. Sorry, fellas. You know, when you said glass house, I thought you meant literal. Catapults continue their assault, although you know that there are now slightly fewer of them hanging around. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Very nice. The only one we really have to worry about is this guy. But even I'm not really worried about him. Just minorly inconvenienced about that guy. Alright, cool. Let's buy another fire potion. Let's put that right there. Actually, if we do it here, I think it'll expand quicker. Anything else we really want? Not really. Nothing we really need. Let's just go for it. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, he'll kill that guy. That's fine. Just one hit. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about a single hit. I guess ideally I should have made another dude, but I didn't think I'd need it. Tide washes away the last of the catapults. You appear to have weathered the storm. The threats of the catapults now eliminated. The glass house pulls up next to the court, and you receive another phone call. The salesman offers congratulations for your victory and asks if there any further assistance he might provide. You answer immediately, asking if he knows the way for you to return home. Oh, definitely. Let's pull over somewhere and I'll draw you a map. Oh, hello. Salesman shows you the map and explains the directions. Okay, so you've seen this before, right? You have, but no one thus far has offered an explanation of any of it. You assumed it was some sort of map. Hey, it kinda is, but it changes every day, so I'd say it's really more of a weather report. But it's pretty simple. Each of these rows is a battle. Within a given row, each column is a battlefield. Do you follow? No, you don't. Yeah, you'll figure it out. But importantly, did you know that you can choose from 3 potential battles before every battle? No, you did not know that. Anyways, here's where you are right now, smack dab in the middle of the war. To get home, you're first gonna need to have to make it to the end, which is right up here. Before or after the dragon? Oh, it's after. Of course, yeah. But making it to the end isn't enough. After that, you'll need to make an exit. Make an exit. Given the abstract nature of movement through the tide, would he be willing to elaborate on that? Oh yeah, it's confusing, right? These routes were conjured back in the 60s. Everyone was hopped up on allegory or something. Around here, making an exit means you gotta consciously leave the path you're on. Yeah, you know, like you gotta fundamentally change as a person. Okay. This might be a long shot, but does he have any specific advice on how I might do that? Preferably in a safe and non-traumatizing way? Do I ever, Your Majesty? That's our specialty. He sweeps his arm back to reveal a shelf of bottles underneath a marquee that reads love potions. Is he attempting to make a joke? Not at all. Nothing changes a person more than love. Okay. You take a deep breath. If his love potion functions like those described in stories, i.e. forcing an individual to fall in love with a person they otherwise have no interest in, then you have absolutely no interest in them. Your Majesty, with all due respect, that's messed up. I don't sell anything like that. You've been hearing some weird rumors, huh? I blame my competition. Please let me set the record straight. My potions cannot create love from nothing. They merely expand the love that already exists within you. Seeing your shoulders relax a bit, he continues with his pitch. Now, if you're new to love potions, I definitely recommend starting small. He pulls a potion off the shelf, like this one, full of the love for something called baseball. This one's great for beginners. The effects are really mild. Drink it and you'll end up liking this baseball just a bit more than you already do. That's it. You suppose that does sound relatively harmless. If he also thinks it'll help you return home, you might as well give it a try. Perfect. Oh, come on. Put your wallet away. I'm not going to charge you for it. Just take it. And so, you return to the court with the new map on the war and single complimentary potion of liking baseball. Very nice. And now you have a certain idea of what you're looking at here. Based on what the salesman told you, it's either a map or a weather report. Either way, it's important that you can choose which upcoming battle to traverse. I would like the market, please. It's catapults and goons. Ooh, also we did maintain some of that damage. Interesting. Was there a sign on the battlefield? You look through the spyglass with a sign in the distance. Dead end. Oh, I know this one. This one's Memento Mori. I hear they're popular among mortals. This one is quite simple, perhaps even unrefined. It says dead end, so any mortal who reads it can remember exactly what awaits them at the end. In case they forgot? Precisely. You deem it unnecessary to offer any sort of correction. Okay. Let's see. Let's just get started. A little bit of this. Okay, that's pretty easy to kind of leave alone. I can really live with that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there it is. There's one. Oh, the catapult match with the castle. Interesting. Here. Very nice, very nice. I'm not really seeing... Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything worth a damn. Okay, so this guy's first. He will apparently hit. I don't think he will if we do this. Trade generic assets, Temple of Market. Blessings upon your business. Prices are determined by market. Ah, so we could buy more resources if need be. Very nice. You know what? We could use a little bit of this. Other than that, I think we're pretty good. We have 69 bread. That's pretty nice. No. Don't go that way. Why are you all wanting to go down there? Alright, whatever, good enough. Hopefully you can get there. And they're connected by a diagonal, so... Both the rocks. And then one of these, sure. Also, I just realized, are the catapults shooting out baseballs? Okay, they're not willing to go across the diagonal. That's a little upsetting. Nice! That'll teach them. We didn't gain much. We didn't lose anything. Hindsight could have bought more resources, but... Which battlefield should the corp traverse? Let's see. Or unremarkable. Hospital. Interesting. Another market. Rare chests. Rare chests and a shop sound pretty good. I say we go for it. What is this? Pirate Cove. Gunboats that are restricted to water. A swamp. Impassable on foot does not match with tap water. Interesting. Where's that safe again? Oh, very nice. Let's keep these two alive. I'd like to get this guy out of here. Wait. Us? Home for now. Okay. I don't know why we're kind of covered in a swamp, but you know, whatever. We don't want to get rid of this though. Oh, that'll be such a heavy match. I'll find it again. I didn't ask about the store. Damn. I lost the chest. I got a little greedy. What is this? Dragon's Cough. Offensive spell. Raise the earth 1 tile north. Mirror hills as the common foe. Huh. Let me take a look. Yes, we're definitely gonna want. I want a good few of these. Okay. We're out of money. Or of gold, sorry. Really want to see what this is all about. All right, yeah. You know what? Send it. Oh my god. They didn't go for my dudes at all. I thought they were supposed to go for my dudes. Okay. Well, I kind of got wrecked there. Whoopsies. My bad.